Most people fall in love with a person. Others fall in love with a civilization. MayaMan grew up in Taiwan and has been fascinated by the Maya since childhood. Today, he dedicates his time to traveling between archaeological sites and teaching people across China about Maya culture and their writing system. In this episode, MayaMan shares with us the basics of Maya glyphs, the symbolism of cacao and sacrifice, the easiest books to start learning about the Maya, and the most interesting archaeological sites to visit in Central America. Whether you prefer your hot chocolate bitter and spicy like the Maya, or sweet and creamy like a child, get comfortable and let's dive into this fascinating culture.
Et surtout à cause de votre mauvais caractère.
Oh, quel caractère! Quel caractère!
Mauvais caractère, mais joli nez.
Très joli nez!
To get things going, maybe if you could introduce yourself a little bit and explain to our listeners why you are called MayaMan, how this name came about, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Maya Man. It's a nickname in Taiwan. A lot of people call me Maya Man. The reason is I researched the Maya archaeology and the hieroglyphs by myself in Taiwan, and I am also only one person in Taiwan to study this culture. So everyone called Maya Man online or in the daily life. And I begin to study the Maya hieroglyphs and archaeology when I was a child. It just maybe 10 or 11 years old. I studying in the elementary school and I reading a magazine in the classroom. So in that time, the Maya culture spurred my heart and make me to involve in researching the Maya hieroglyphs. So that's my teeny simple story about why did I study the Maya cultures in Taiwan. Yeah.
So it was in school the first time that you saw something related to the culture, and then the first time you saw it, you wanted to know more about it.
Just like you saw a very beautiful woman and you fall in love just one eyes, you just one look, and that's I always say that I just fall in love to the Maya culture. So I used a lot of time. I spent a lot of time and to study the Maya, and spend a lot of money to take a lot of trip, and to contact a lot of archaeologists in America, and we become the friend. So I think it is whole my life now. The Maya culture is the most important thing and part in my life. So
There is one thing about the Maya civilization that I think is very unique when you compare
Yeah.
it to other civilization, maybe like the Inca, the Aztecs, and all that stuff.
Mhm.
One thing that interests me particularly is the
Mhm.
language they developed and the writings, the glyphs and all that stuff. So that's one aspect that I would love to dig more into with you today.
Mhm.
Because this podcast is called Character. It was originally, described to talk about the Chinese characters,
Mhm.
but obviously with the Maya, there is some similarities. So maybe after your years of research, can you maybe tell us a little bit how the glyph and how the language Maya, um, how is it structured, and what are kind of the key elements to approach it?
the Maya hieroglyph is very difficult and complicated, but luckily we start to decipher the Maya hieroglyphs about 20 years ago, for a decade. and we start can reading. I don't know how do you know about the Maya language or the Maya hieroglyphs. Yeah, it's a totally different things because the language is the modern people and the ancient people they speak the language, right? Just like you and me now. And another one is hieroglyphs. Hieroglyphs is totally different and disappear in modern times, and because the Spanish invade the Mesoamerica, so they forbidden the Maya people writing the Maya hieroglyphs, so it's disappeared. But now it's recovering in the Mexican, Guatemala, and Honduras, like Belize. I have a friend in Belize, and he is trying to recovering the tradition of the Maya writing the Maya hieroglyphs in the Belize. So, and I, do you know how many percent the hieroglyphs we can read in nowadays?
I was listening to a podcast with an American archaeologist, Robert Stewart or
Mhm.
David Stewart.
Yeah.
I saw a photo with you and David Stewart
Oh, yeah.
on
Yeah.
your Facebook page. So I was looking into some of his work, and I believe he said that we are able to decipher up to
Yeah.
80% of the glyphs.
Yes. Wow, you know a lot. And yeah, there are about 80% the Maya hieroglyph could be read in nowadays, because the Maya archaeologists or Mayanist they study the hieroglyph for 100 years, since hundreds years since the Spanish occupied the Yucatec and then the Maya world. Yeah, so we start to the numbers and the calendars is the most simple and easy, because the modern in the Mayan in that time still use the calendars when the Spanish occupied this area, so they can record about how the Maya write their calendars, glyphs, and the number glyphs. So that's the first part we can decipher about the Maya hieroglyphs, and then we try to study the place name and the personal name is another one. A lot of people think in that time. I mean, in that time, they think the Maya is totally a logogram. They can speak or present the phonetic, but it's wrong. There are two Russian say about it's wrong, and one is from the Soviet. His name is Kolosov. He talked about the Maya hieroglyph could present the phonetic. So the archaeologists start to recognize about that. How did the Maya present their phonetic? But in that time, the most important Maya archaeologist is from British UK. His name is Eric Thompson, and he disagree with this argument. He think the Maya is totally a logogram, so you can read any phonetic, and he, I think he maybe like attack. He attacked the argue with the Kolosov, but when after the Eric Thompson died, the Maya archaeology agree with the Kolosov. He's right. So a lot of people try to recover the phonetic sheet, but we just only recognize about the 20 or 30 phonetic glyphs in the 1980s. And the most important is the Linda Shirley. He is the professor in the UT Austin, University of Texas Austin. Yeah, and he met a little child. His name is David Stewart, just like you say. He is a very young child. He's just 6 years old, and he study the Maya hieroglyphs in that time. 6-year-old is a crazy, Yeah, and he write an essay with his father in the conference, present in the conference when he was 12. And then when he was acting, and he got a reward of the MacArthur Fellowship. Yeah, Genius Fellowship. Yeah, so he started to recognize the whole phonetic sheet. He tried to do this, and he find a principle. The principle is every single vowel or sound phonetic can represent by a lot of different logogram. So we don't want to one because a lot of people think, oh, it is 1 to 1. The one sound have a one logogram, but it's wrong. It's 1 to a lot of logograms, like ka, ka. It could be present by 10 or 11 or 15 different similar. It's represented by similar glyphs. 1 to 15. And another complicated principle is the logogram and the phonetic glyphs. It could be used in the same word, in the same square. For example, we write the same word like a cacao. Cacao is a chocolate beans, right? Cocoa beans, and you can write it by logograms. Okay, and you can also write it by the phonetic glyphs. The phonetics will organized by 3 parts. Is a ka, and a wa. Ka, wa. The last a is non. You didn't need to say the last a, so it's a cacao. So it's a mix, right? And the 2 glyphs can use it in the random situations, just for the choice. The scribe, they scribe and in the random.
And so you have a freedom to write wow with a bunch of different combination.
Yes.
Even the 2 first one ka, they can be different.
Yeah.
And why do you think this is the case? Does that change the meaning depending on the context?
I think it is a context, it's a cultural context, because in our cultural context, we write the Chinese, and maybe we will write it by a different approach or different ways, but all the Taiwanese or they writing the Chinese, they can know what do you write now, because we have the context. We know even it's different with the formal or the normal writing way, but we can recognize it. In Maya, it's the same way, because it's a simplified. Like the ka, the phonetic ka is a fish. The logogram is a fish. But why ka is a fish? Because in the Maya language, ka, a fish called kai, K-A-Y. So they use the K-A to present by the fish. The fish present the ka, and then they simplify the fish, because the whole fish is very complicated to writing now. So they use his fin his last things, and simplify it become another glyphs of ka. So that's why one phonetic glyphs could be represented by about 20 or 11 or 12 or even 15 glyphs, different glyphs to represent the single one sound. Yeah. So so don't forget about this principle. So even in the same words we present in the phonetic, it could combine a lot of different combination like if a car can write by 3 different way, and the another car is a 3 different way, right? And the wa is another different way. So when we calculate about it, it will become a 27 different way to write a single word. Luckily, there are still some people talking about the Maya language, so we can recover the ancient Maya language by the modern Maya language. Yeah, that's another challenge for the modern Maya archaeologists and also the linguistic.
Yeah, because once you know that kai is the fish, then you
Mhm.
can go back, and once you see the fish, you know that it's gonna be ka or kai.
Yeah, you got it. It's not like Egypt or the China or even in the ancient Europe like Greek or Romans. They write a lot of daily life and they record a lot of things. But in Maya, it's no. It just they just record uh, the elite life or the ruler's life. Yeah.
Yeah, because as you mentioned, it's like you need to know so many variation and so many combination of logograms and phonograms. So it makes sense that only a very few portion, a very few amount of people can have enough time to study all of this and then use them.
Yeah.
And I was curious about the cacao because it seems like it's an element that was very important in the culture.
Mhm.
Do you think it was similar to what we have nowadays with chocolate, or was it a drink that was very different at the time?
Yeah, it's very different because we know the chocolate is very bitter. No, the pure cacao or the pure chocolate, black chocolate is very bitter. So in the ancient Maya they have no sugars. They just have honey, and then they didn't like to add the honey into the chocolate, and they drink the chocolate. They didn't eat the chocolate. They grate the cacao beans and then to add the hot waters and put some vanilla and the most special one is they add the chili, the spicy. So they drink it by the hot and no sugar and the spicy hot chocolate.
And no milk.
Yeah, and no milk, and 100% chocolate. And then in the record by the Spaniard, I mean the Spanish inventors, and then they say the Aztec, the last Aztec emperor, Montezuma, he drink like this hot chocolate every day, and maybe he drink 10 or 12, 13 cup this chocolate every day. So he's crazy. Yeah, and I saw a lot funny story in the Chinese text. In fact, in the Qing dynasty, there are some people to contribute the cacao to the emperor of China, It's called the Kangxi Empire, and he drink the cacao just like the Montezuma drink. So it's a 100 pure and spicy, and add some vanilla. When he drink the hot chocolate, and he said, "Wow, it's so bitter." The foreigners, maybe from the Spanish, in his court, and to survey about this, and he asked a lot of people and say, "Oh, my emperor, oh my majesty, it's not a medical." So the emperor of the Qing dynasty said, "Okay, you don't need to take it anymore to me." Yeah, so it's a funny story, but it presents it's very different with the ancient approach about drinking the chocolate, and compare with the modern way. Yeah, the cacao is also the coin. It's money. It's a currency. So the Spanish record about it, and they can buy the staff or the goods by the cacao. So if you drink cacao, it's just like you drink the money. Every single cup cacao, hot chocolate in the ancient Maya, is a cup of money. And then you drink a cup of money. Yeah, to present you are rich, and you drink this drinking stuff, drinking things from God. Yeah, it's a very secret explanations, and yeah.
You're also making it accessible for many people in the Asian world, and there is a growing interest for people more interested in the Maya culture, and I think it's a beautiful thing that you're doing, because you are shining a light on this culture. What do you think is the main thing that we can learn from the Mayan?
Oh, okay. But I just say a very teeny sections about the Asian, the Maya study in Asia. I know there are no one in Taiwan, but there are a lot of people and very, very famous archaeologists study the Maya heritage in Japan. So the Japan is the top in the Asia about the Maya research. So I have no confidence to win over the Japan people, because like Inomata, he is a professor in the Arizona University. He is the best archaeologist in the world, a Maya archaeologist in the world now. But he is Japanese, come from Japan. Yeah. And okay, the question, I answer the question you just asked me. Yeah, I think the most important about the Maya history, we can solve the history, yeah, about Maya, because they encourage encounters the very difficult situation in the 800 to 1000 AD. It is a climate change in that world, in that times, and they overuse the land, so it make the very serious the environmental broke. Yeah, so I think it is very important things that we must to know why this culture fall, and the reason is just by themselves, or you can say ourselves, because I'm a Maya now. Yeah, we made the same situation in the nowadays. The change, the climate still changing, and we made a lot of a very severe challenge about all the environmental systems. So what did the ancient Maya made, and why didn't they could take over this challenge? I think it can they can bring some suggestions to the modern peoples, and that's their experience, and I think that very important things to the modern peoples. And another one is we must to know or to I don't know how to say in English, but I mean when the Spanish invented the Yucatec, they forbidden the traditional, and they forbidden the local language and the writings. It's not a good thing, you know. And there are still a lot of native speakers, like in Canada, in America, and in the whole world, even in Taiwan. There are 14 or 15 different native peoples in Taiwan, and they speak all the different language. Yeah. So how to protect this language and the another writing system still in the world, in the whole world, it is another ones we must do that, because it's a bad things in the ancient Mayas. They just happen. It just happened, right? And they can write the ancient glyphs now, and all the ancient wisdom just gone. If you can recognize that, or you can read that in the ancient way, it's gone. So preserve the ancient language and the ancient writing system is preserve the ancient wisdom and preserve the ancient cultures. So this is another things I think it is very important experience to the modern peoples. Yeah.
Maybe a last part, we can talk about some recommendation for people who want to know more about you and who want to know more about the Maya culture. So maybe you can tell us about a few books, or maybe also I was thinking of a few destinations that you recommend if people want to discover the Mayan culture.
I suggest that two books is from the Michael Coe, C-O-E, Michael Coe. And the first one is The Maya. It is an introduction about the Maya cultures, and it is very important. A lot of the students in the college, they read these books, so I think it is the best one introductions in the world. And another one still come from the Michael Coe. It's Reading the Maya Hieroglyphs. It's a very simple book, and you can know how to read the Maya hieroglyphs. And even if you read about it and finish all the practice in the books, you can read some simple stelas or the potteries in the side, and your friend will feel you are the masters and the professional. But you know, I just can read it. But you will know, I just can read it a little about that. But all the people in the side, if you read the glyphs, they will feel you are a professional. Yeah. And you can also read the book from David Stewart, but it's very difficult and a lot of detail about that. It's a academic book. Yeah. So that's my suggestion. 3 books. And another one is Mark Sanders. He teach in Tulane, in the New Orleans, and he wrote a book is reading the Maya art. He combined the art, the iconography, and the logogram and the Maya hieroglyphs in the whole book, and each single page is one topic, and in the single page you can learn the Maya glyphs, and you can also know the ideological and the mythological and the political, even the cultural histories about this topic.
Awesome. And what about the sites when people travel? Do you think some places are
Ah,
better than others?
absolutely. A lot of people like the site, and I also like the site. And there are the thousands Maya sites in the world, so you can visit all the Maya sites. A lot of people say I want to visit all the Maya sites. I say it's impossible. 3,000, and a lot of sites in the jungles. But I think there are countries in the Maya world, like Guatemala. The most important thing absolutely is the tikal, Tikal. Yeah, in the Petén. And it is the most important Maya site in the world, so Tikal is worth to visit. You will see the 75 high pyramid, and you can climb it on the top and saw all the rainforest. You are on the top of the forest, and then there are in the far away there are still three pyramid, and then their top and their roof just like an island flow on the green tree top. So it's a very beautiful, and you can saw a lot of animals and hiking. So I think Tikal is the best one. Another one I will suggest in the Guatemala, I will suggest the Yashha. It's a pretty close to Tikal, and you can climb. You can also climb on the temple, the pyramid, and so the sunrise. The sun will fall into the lake, Yashha Lake. It's just near. It's just nearby the Yashha Lake. So in the pyramid and the deck and the sunfall. Yeah, so it's very beautiful. Another one is the Belize. I love Belize because it's my first experience to visit the Maya site is in Belize, because in 2013 I become a volunteer of the BVAR, is a field school in Belize. Yeah, and I will suggest the cacao in the Maya cities, and they conquer the Tikal in 562 AD. Another one is the ATM cave. Yeah, but ATM is a simplified, it's not really they have an ATM in the cave. So yeah, it's a Aktun Tunich Mukana. It means mirror. It's like a barrel in the cave. You can see the victims, the ancient victims by the sacrifice in the cave. And you must hiking, and you must swimming and climb the rock, and you will see the skeletons and the bones in a cave. So it is very worth to visit. I took a lot of people to visit the ATM before, and everyone just remember the ATM in the whole trip because it's very exciting and very surprising and impressive. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing these tips, and I'm happy you mentioned the sacrifice element, because it's something that we always think about when we think about Maya. We think about the pyramids, we think about the calendar, and we also often associate this civilization with the sacrifice. And it remains something very mysterious. So I
Mhm.
wanted to ask you, um, what do you think was the main reason behind this sacrifice?
Because they think about their materials called kuhu. Kuhu can make a communication with between the human and the god. And the most sacred kuhu is the human blood. So they need use the human blood to make some connection with the god and then the normal the human. So that's why they always sacrifice a lot of people.
Yeah, it's interesting, but maybe they could also do like animals. You can use the blood of animals, but the human blood was the most sacred.
Yeah. Of course, in Copan, they they carve a altar. ATAL is a altar, and they cover the 16 rulers surround the altars. Every single rulers they sacrifice a jaguar, so they sacrifice 16 jaguars for these altars.
Wow, jaguar. So they had to capture the jaguar alive and then kill.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your passion for the Mayan culture and for your
Thank
time and
you.
all your recommendation. And yeah, for all the Chinese speaking people, if they are more interested to know about your class, I know that you have the workshop which is going to
Yeah.
start soon. Maybe you
Mhm.
can give us some information about how to get in touch with you.
Oh yeah, my online course is from the 学子 website, and you can see the information on my Facebook page. Yeah, my Facebook page in Chinese is 玛雅国驻台办事处. It's mean the MayaMan in Taiwan, you know. Yeah, and you can see the information, and you can message me, and I'm happy to answer any questions about the Mayans or even in the about the Mesoamerican ancient cultures. So
You so much, MayaMan, and I will add your links to the description of the
Yeah.
podcast and let you know when it's ready.
Yeah, thank you. And I think I try my best is talk about Maya in English. This is my first time to record the podcast in English. So
You did a great job. It was clear, and also we really can feel like your passion and your enthusiasm for the culture. So I think that's going to be communicated with the audience. So that's the
okay.
most important. Thank you so much.
I'm happy to hear about it. Thank you.